Welcome in. It is the local and community issues and answers right here on WVTN television. We're so thankful to have in the studios with us today from the Shout Drug Free, Mr. Rock and Roll, Marty Gibson, Marvelous Mike, and Wild Willie. Welcome in, brothers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting us, Jonathan. It's been a real pleasure. We've known you for a long time, and we just appreciate this.
Now, you guys are going out to all these schools, and you're warning these young people about the dangers of drugs. Let's talk about how this began.
Yeah, well, I started doing the Shout Drug Free program back in, 1999.
Okay.
Then, it wasn't so hard to get into the schools like it is now.
Right.
But I found out down the road that all the years I've been wrestling, that the more you can reach out, the less kids are to get on drugs.
Right.
See, my brother passed away with a very serious drug overdose back in 2003. And after that, it really took hold, because he left behind a little boy. And every time you pick up the newspaper, you're reading something about how a young adult has lost their life for driving under the influence. And if we don't reach out and do something now, we regret it down the road. Because have you ever had that that thought come to your mind? I know we all have. Is if I could just reached out and done something, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Exactly. We need to do all we can. And we was talking here earlier, these kids are young kids already dabbling in drugs. What do you think about that, Marvelous Mike?
It's no good. I recently, about a year ago, lost a cousin to drugs due to an overdose. And right now I've got a brother that he's not got his life straight. He's been on drugs ever since he was about 14 years old.
Wild Willie, let me ask you this question now. Now, you guys are professional wrestlers, and you go out and do these shows, and you really reach out to a lot of people, and this is so positive for these kids. These kids love to see you guys coming.
Yeah, and I do want to say that I thank God for Marty for coming down and inviting me and making me part of this shout-out team. And that's what we are. And we've got others. We got WCW's Mass Superstar that helps us. And my belief is if you can make a kid have a dream, they can become anything that they want to. A dream with, Jonathan, me and you, I'm a minister out in the county. The Bible says without a vision, right, people will perish.
Exactly.
My goal in all this, and what I hope to accomplish in this, is to give a kid a dream other than being a pusher or being a taker. Excuse me. But they need a positive dream. And I believe like this: if you can dream it, you can believe it, you can achieve it.
Right. Marty, what's some of the things you tell these kids when you see them?
Well, we come out dressed in our full gimmicks, what we wear to do a show. We come out to our theme song, which mine is Rock and Roll is King.
Right.
And the kids, we just try to get them involved. And when you come out like it, we noticed over Cowan, Kentucky, in Letcher County this past Friday. You thought Elvis come back to life. I mean, they really got into it, and that's what we're out to do.
Right.
But as he was saying, even though we get them into it, and we asked them that question, how many has been offered drugs?
Right.
Every hand in that school went up. But if we get the kids involved, they have a dream.
Right.
As Wild Willie was saying there. To get that dream going, is I have a little saying to them: if you believe you can do it, you're already halfway there.
Oh, that is so awesome. Marvelous Mike, let me ask you another question. What are ways that people that's watching right now can get involved and get in touch with you guys and say, hey, we want you to come to our school or put on a show at our school? Just reach out to these kids for us.
Well, if they like to have a show at their school, they can just contact me. Me and my wife were the promoters of the show, and my cell phone number is 606-627-1249. So if they want a show or anything else at their school, they're more than welcome to give us a call. We'll work out the details. We do fundraisers, charity events, anything that will help out, we're here to do that. Because our promotion, our wrestling shows are based on being family oriented and completely drug free. So anytime, they want anything like that positive, because wrestling really has a bad name, especially in this area. There's a lot of promoters out there that run shows that, you go to the show and all you hear is cussing and they want to do what's on TV. Well, we bring a different product to the table. What we bring to our shows is entertainment the way wrestling used to be.
Exactly.
That's why it's called traditional Southern wrestling, because it's more of the traditional style.
Now, Wild Willie, have you got a lot of schools lined up to be at?
School's going out soon, and we hope to cover as many as we can, but Rock and Roll Marty is in charge of that. He's the one keeps the schedules. He lets us know, and they can contact him. You got a contact number for them to call you?
Yeah, they can get a hold of me at 606-273-4468.
4468. Now, where's some venues that you're all going to be performing shows and coming up?
We actually have one on June 22nd at the London Armory, the London National Guard Armory.
Okay.
And then on July 13th, we're in Line Fork, Kentucky at the Kingdom Come Community Center.
Okay. Well, Marty, people don't realize throughout the years you have traveled, you went up and down the road into state and town and place. They don't realize what you guys, go through. This is a full-time job.
Yeah, that's the way I've always looked at it. 'Cause like I said, I started back in 1982. I trained for a year and a half, then finally got the spot in the ring, and from that point it's just been, you got your uphill and you got your downhill and you got your valleys, just like anything else.
Right.
But if you just stick with it, that's where the dream comes in. If you got a dream, pursue it. My dream was always being a wrestler.
Right.
And it just took off, and it's been a fun ride ever since.
Exactly. And throughout the years, I'm sure you've met countless people and touched lives, Wild Willie.
I think this is one of the great ways that we can do it. All of us here are and somewhat celebrities. And, Jonathan, it's been a great time for me. I've got to meet some great guys in the ring, and I've got to meet Marty and some of the biggest names in professional wrestling, and I've got to work with them. I've had a lot of people don't know, but Marvelous Mike is my son, and he had a dream. And one night we was sitting on the couch, and I've trained him ever since he's been in diapers. And I took him on the road when he was like 12 years old, kept me in trouble, but he had a dream, and he said he would like to own a company. And we wound up, and we've owned a couple, and we've owned, a couple federations, and we've been involved with quite a few. And I'm sure that somewhere down the road, because I never would go for all this stuff that you see. I don't believe that the women should go out there and be naked, and doing all kinds of things. And I think our wrestlers ought to be clean. I want to thank him that whenever you come to our shows, that everybody is drug free. Our state, there's a requirement. I don't mean to take up all the time, but our state requires drug testing. Mm-hmm. Well, Marvelous Mike, if there happens to be a reason why that anybody in our group should be drug tested, he's got the test there to drug test them. And believe you me, if somebody is that, our workers, I'm talking about our workers, we can't help, what the crowd does.
Right.
But our workers are going to be clean workers. And if there's a reason to suspect they're on drugs or something there, then we're going to drug test them.
Exactly.
And if they're going to work for us, they're going to sign that contract.
Right.
And you know why? Because these kids are influenced enough outside, and they don't need us to influence their lives in a negative way. We need to be a positive and not a negative.
Exactly.
And that pretty much goes to the state does random drug testing at all shows. And we also hold the right to drug test ourselves, being a company and having employees just like any other company. So all of our wrestlers, we guarantee that they're drug-free 100%.
And kids don't realize this, the dangers of these drugs, like some of these pills and meth and all this stuff, one time could end their life. Mr. Marty, tell us about that. I'm sure throughout the years you've seen so many wrestlers that had drug issues and drug problems, and a lot of them has outstripped this life and went on.
Yeah, bringing up one in particular, a very good close friend of mine. I wrestled him many years, and with WCW was Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
He got on steroids, and but you see a lot of wrestlers getting on steroids. And, really, all that is just a show.
Right.
That just makes themselves look better. You don't need that. I'm what they call a high flyer. I do all the crazy stunts,
Right.
which kids don't do those at home either. But, in this line of business, you got to have your sanity. You got to be able to see what's in front of you.
Right.
Could you imagine climbing on the top rope like I do and doing a sunset flip out to the floor, to the center of the ring, or a flying elbow, and me seeing 3 different people in front of me? Which one do I hit? I don't know. You lose your thought of concentration.
Right.
And as they were saying, the wrestling license, you gotta have a physical now. You have to be drug tested. You got to be clean.
Right.
And if you can't be clean, you don't got no business being in there.
That's exactly right. Now, what are some websites that people can go to and maybe check out your Facebook or whatever if they want to link in with you like that?
Actually, our website, it's under construction right now, but it should be up completely in the next week or so.
Okay.
It's www.tswrestling.com.
Wrestling.com. And Mr. Wild Willie, throughout these years and doing this sport, I'm sure that so many people look up to you guys, and they would listen to what you guys got to say. If you say, hey, the dangers of drugs, this stuff will kill you, talk about that a little bit.
Well, I certainly hope that we are influencing people's lives, that whenever they look at us, and they see us. When we go out there to that ring, I dress, when I went out to the ring, I went out with energy. You remember, I don't do that anymore. I'm kindly retired due to my heart condition, but I will be at the shows doing some crazy things, and everybody will see. But they got to remember, it's a show, and I come out good, clean fun, and I come out dressed a little bit different, talk a little bit different, do a little bit different things than what I normally do. But it's all for a show, and it's all fun. And I certainly hope that I can impact somebody's life, that I can stir them in a different direction than what the world is offering them. I am certainly glad that we got to team up together. I met these great guys. I know these guys. And not just me. I know that this man right here, we've been down the road. Me and Superstar was talking the other day. We've known each other for years.
Yeah, I know his fist pretty good too.
And Superstar. But you know what? And me and Superstar was talking about the other night on the phone, that how that we have went down through life, all the years that we've known each other, that we become more brothers. We've never had an argument.
Right.
Never had a disagreement. We've stuck it out with each other through thick and thin, and we've always had each other's back. You know, that's something that the world don't have.
That's true.
Drug dealers don't have that. They're all the time ratting somebody out. Guess what? You people that deal drugs, let me lay something on you. When these guys that you've sold your pills to, the state police catches them, if they're going to face 2 years in the pen, or they will release them if they'll come and buy some more off of you, guess what? They're going to buy some more off of you. You're the one going to jail. They're going to rat you out because, hey, they're going to protect themselves. Everybody is for themselves.
Yeah.
You know what? All of us guys, we've been there for each other.
Right.
Through thick and thin.
Lifelong friends. And, you know, even I can say, you know, throughout the years, I remember watching you on the NWA and throughout the wrestling, you know, organization, and you become a positive role model for these kids and all throughout these years.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad everybody remembers me from all those years back. But, you know, I've been 3-time world heavyweight champion, 8-time heavyweight tag team champions. I've had the ECW belt. I mean, I wrestled with WCW, WWF, ECW, all the indie circuits. But you know, every time something happens, as he was talking about, they squeal.
Right.
And I found out something all these years coming down the road, back and forth, overseas and everywhere. A drug dealer is the same. Right. They live on your fear. Once they get you scared and intimidated, they've got you. Don't be afraid of them. These kids out here, don't be afraid of them. You know, stand up and shout it out. Hey, we're drug free. Get out of my face.
Oh, that sounds
You know, we don't want you here.
Right.
That's the same way of the show. But I'm, you know, if I could ever make an invitation to a drug dealer to get in the ring with me 5 minutes,
Right.
I don't think he would last very long. Because that would be one heavyweight match they don't want to miss.
All right. Might even be a cage match. You know?
That's it, so they can't run away.
Marvelous Mike, it takes such a love for kids, for people in general to put on these shows because it's countless hours of getting things together. This just don't happen overnight. One or two people just can't put this together. It takes a full-time work for you.
It does. We've been working on this since September of last year, getting everything and the paperwork for our license, because in the state of Kentucky you have to have a promoter license. And that takes a lot of paperwork, a lot of bonds and different things that you have to have because you have to meet all the state regulations. And the same for wrestlers. The wrestlers have to have a license in order to perform, just like having a driver's license. So it does take all of your time to get everything together. And we're still working today to get everything ready. The ring, we've completely redone the ring. We've got it looking a lot newer than what it did before when we ran. And we pretty much, our show, though, is one show that you don't want to miss.
Right.
It's the only show that I know of on this side of the state that is as clean, as family-oriented as any. You know, there's no more as clean as our show.
Now, when you guys are going to be up the Armory, what time is it going to start?
Bell time is at 8 p.m., and we do have advanced tickets on sale for $5 a ticket.
Okay.
At the show, the tickets are $8 for adults and $6 for kids.
Now, that's going to be June the 22nd at the National Guard Armory here in London, Kentucky. And, you know, you guys are out visiting these schools. What times do you usually visit the schools? Early in the morning or?
It's usually around 1 o'clock, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's last couple we've done has been like around 1 o'clock, 1:15.
Yeah, they bring them all out to the gym, and you know, this is a great program. And you know what? I think at all the shows, all the workers should shout it out. We're drug free. You know, and join you in your. All the workers should join you in your. I want to commend you on what you've done. You know, that's this is a big step, And for me to come back to not to wrestle, but I'm coming back to help some of these kids.
Exactly.
I'm coming back to help Mike. I'm not going to be in the ring, but I'm going to be doing other things, and I just hope that I can touch some kid out there and give them a dream, a hope, something there to look forward to, because they're important.
Right.
Our kids is our future, and I just appreciate Marty for letting us to become part of this.
Well, I appreciate that. But, I'm not nothing big. I'm not no big fancy movie star or anything like that. I'm just professional wrestler's been doing it for over 20 years now, and it's been, like I said, a fun ride, and I'm gonna continue that ride. But our fan base are the kids. I'm not taking away from the adults or teenagers or anything like that, but the small kids is what makes our show possible.
Right.
Wrestling, everything. And if you got one kid coming into a show and you're looking at and you're trying to wrestle and you see him, he's sitting there all glossy-eyed and just spinning around, something's wrong, and you lose your concentration.
Right. And it's a shame. And people don't realize this. Remind the people, you've been there. You've been there with Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, all the names. You've been right there with them.
Yeah, I mean, you take Terry and Ric Flair, you take Tully Blanchard, Ole and Arn Anderson, Ricky Steamboat. Eventually, there's Chris Benoit before he got in all those situations.
Right.
But going back to that era, that was some of the greatest shows ever was.
Oh yeah.
And but even at that, wrestlers are human.
Right.
They do fall to the side and get hooked on things. I mean, I've never done drugs. I've never done alcohol or anything like that.
That's so good.
But I mean, I've got around people that I ended up being the designated driver, and I hated that. And just the smell of it.
Right.
I mean, I had to pull off the side of the road and puke. But to get out here on the streets now, you drive, especially where I live. I mean, it's a constant thing. I mean, you got teenagers, if they're not snorting pills or drinking beer.
Right.
And, it's getting uncalled for, but it's not just going to take us.
Exactly.
And, this beautiful TV station you guys got here, and we really appreciate you guys doing this, but it takes all the communities.
Exactly.
The citizens of everywhere just to join together. The state police, the county, the city, the Unite program, great bunch of people. They're all doing the best they can. But we got to help them. They can't be here and 20 miles down the road at the same time.
How can people that's watching this, Mr. Marty, support this? How, they say, hey, I want to, do my part and support what you guys are doing.
Well, we're paying for all this out of our own pocket. That's no issue. But if anybody wanted to help, they could contact him at his number. They could contact me at mine. If they just want to come and get involved, come to one of the shows. And
exactly.
If you've been on drugs before and you've made that mistake and you want to come tell your story, hey, the door's open to you.
And people don't realize the history that you have in the wrestling, organization. Remember Starrcade, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express. You remember them days?
I remember that well. I still got bruises from it.
But and we would. I mean, we would like to invite people to come, and help. And we'd like to invite sponsors to help us.
Right.
We need, that would be great. Not just financial, but I'm talking about sponsors. Maybe somebody to put a banner up. Somebody to call us and open a door and say, here, come to my school, talk to our children. We'd like to invite the parents to come say, hey, we want to hear what you guys have to say.
Right.
And, that would be awesome. And, so many people today, they look at wrestling Mike was right a while ago. They have it has a bad perception. You can take anything and make it wrong, and you can destroy it. Anything. We're wanting to be positive.
Exactly.
And this is what it's all about. I know I'm taking up all the time, but Jonathan, I really do. And anybody that wants to contact me, of course, everybody knows me. Everybody between Corbin and Barbersville.
Nobody can forget him.
But my number at home is 542-0391. They could call me, and I can certainly get them in touch with Marty if they can't get a hold of him, but or Marvelous Mike, either one. But if I'm not home, they can always leave a message. But we're needing sponsorship. Of course, we'll take whatever we can get. You know,
if somebody wants to make T-shirts to promote the cause, that'd be great too.
Very good. We got about 4 minutes left in the program today. I want to take this time to say from the heart thank you to Rock and Roll Marty Gibson, Marvelous Mike, and Wild Willie for even coming here today and being a part of this program, to reaching out to these kids. I mean, this is such a work and it's such a job. And it's rewarding when you see some kid saved from death and drugs and all this.
Yeah, I'd like to say something else too, just make it real sweet and short. If there's any of the area hospitals that the kids are in the hospital, it doesn't matter. I mean, it could be from just a regular bicycle accident or whatever. If they want us to come and see the kids, hey, we'll be more than glad to go.
Right.
Like I said, the kids are what makes our lives anyway.
Or even the Shriners Hospital.
Right.
That's what we're there for. You want us to come, we would like to, be there. They have a Make-A-Wish program where kids that are dying, they get to meet, whoever they want to. They can make that wish and they try to make it happen. Well, we would like for them to make a wish even if it's not death.
Right.
Yep. We would just like to make their day.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I'm a big supporter of the breast cancer. If there's anybody out there that's, that has anything to do with the breast cancer or any cancer,
right,
and would like for us to come do a show, hey, we'll be there.
That sounds good. Marvelous Mike, give us those numbers again.
My cell phone is 606-627-1249. And our website is www.tswrestling.com.
Well, we're so thankful to have you guys in the studio today. And this is Shout Drug Free program. It's going on at the local schools. The next school they're going to be at is coming up at Page Elementary School, and that's going to be around 1 o'clock or so.
Yeah, I think around 1:15 tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow. So check that out. And until next week, this has been the local